So you are a mom, and most probably you have kids, and then you may be asking yourself, just like the many women who contacted me regarding, but Nabila, how do we identify the key personality or key behavior characteristics in my kids that indicate that my kid has the potential for leadership, has the confidence for leadership? What are some effective strategies to build confidence in teens? And what's my role in this? What role can I play as a parent in this equation? Now, to answer these questions and so much more, I brought a guest for you. But before that, let's get started. And good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Quantum Leadership Hacks, episode 104. And I have with me tonight a special guest. Let me pull her on stage first of all. There we have Jasmin Navarro, award winning family and educational well being expert, author of the Creative Confidence Program and Self Identity for Teens, and a speaker and trainer, basically based in Dubai, but also I would say a little bit everywhere since the online spaces. Hello, Jasmine. Welcome to the Quantum Leadership Hacks.
Hi, Dr. Nebila. Thank you so much for having me. It's lovely to see you again.
Absolutely. So, I know you and I talked before, and people really liked what we were talking about. By way of, this is quite a recurring question, and I said, I've kind of never thought about it. And they said, please, Nabila, can you tell us a little bit? What do you do and what do your guests do? Give them more space to talk about what they do so as we know exactly how they can help us eventually help us. So I said I promised I am going to, because we think it's obvious and we are here and we are doing our show. And so Jasmine, by way of introduction, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Thank you, Nebila. Yes, so I work with teenagers, predominantly teenagers, but also primary students as well. And I give them workshops, so groups and one-to-one sessions, all about teaching them tools and techniques to help them build their self-confidence, self-esteem, resilience, and to be happy,
I love this.
Yeah.
And how long have you been doing this? It seems like a new concept, but I'm sure we are talking about.
Well, I was a teacher for 20 years, so I was sort of doing it then, but not really, because there was just never any time when I was in the classroom. But just coaching, 5 years.
Yeah. You both of us, you remind me, both of us have that teaching background behind us. Absolutely. And that kind of, kind of gives you that close contact with students and with students across ages, because I was basically taught, dealing with adult students at university. But I think, across the spectrum, we could be talking about the same thing.
Definitely.
So yeah, on my end, working with women develop their leadership, and what I've noticed along the years of more than 15 years working in Saudi is that when women develop their confidence and leadership skills, the kids get impacted and the whole family and their whole surrounding gets impacted at the same time. So I think we have framed the discussion for today. So here are two teachers who've been in in the classroom for many, many years, and we're going to sort of help you with defining where can you help the teens, and where is it the role of women in terms of developing this potential for leadership in kids. But let us start very easy peasy, very straightforward from the from the very beginning with this. So Jasmine, let's dive right in with the first question. When we talk about developing confidence, developing leadership in, and we are basically talking about kids or teens who do not really understand what these are. What are some, like, this is a question that moms always ask. How do I know, Nabila, how do I know if my kid is or has the potential to develop into a leader? So can you clarify this concept of
Sure.
confidence and leadership amongst kids, Jasmine?
I think personally, I think every child has the potential to be a leader. I think everybody has the potential. I think it comes down to, if it's something that the child wants to do, maybe that could be one part, because not everybody wants to be a leader. So I think it all comes down to, do they want to be a leader? Of course, then you do need to have self-confidence and self-belief, of course. But I think self-belief, self-confidence is fundamental for anything we do in our lives, not just about being involved in leadership. Any decision, anything we want to do in our lives, if we want to do it well, we have to have self-belief and self-confidence. So I think that's fundamental for anything. I think anything your child wants to do, we need to teach them how to have that self-belief and self-confidence, and then they could make a healthy decision for them as well. Because maybe if they're lacking in self-confidence and self-belief, they might just say, I can't be a leader, because maybe they don't believe that they can, So I think the first thing is about building the self-confidence and self-belief, and then they have that healthy mindset, then they can decide what they want to do moving forward, and it will be the right decision for them, because they will be their best selves.
I love this concept. So and I can't but join the thinking here, which is that I think it's a bit cliched that born leader thing, which is, my girl is a born leader or my son is a born leader. And actually I totally get you that it's an environmental thing. We can raise the way we surround, the way we take care of kids, the way we nurture them. They can either and the first thing, the baseline, is of course the self-esteem, the self-confidence that we can develop, and then later on it's a question for themselves, like they can decide to be leaders, or they can and in fact, I mean, if we demystify even leadership, anybody is a leader in something.
Yes,
if you think about it, everybody is good at something and wants to lead on something. Are we helping that helping that unfold? That's the question. Yeah.
And we have to we have to lead our lives anyway, so we are all leaders anyway.
Absolutely. That's as simple as that. Is that you're leading a life, you don't have a choice in there. So it's really important. So but there is this study, according to, I think, is it APA, the American Psychological Association, fostering leadership skills in especially adolescents. I'm not talking about the little ones still in primary school. Can lead to, if we develop the leadership skills. They call them somewhere soft skills. I don't believe in that
Okay.
at all. I don't believe that they are soft in any way. The confidence, and but anyway, they call
Yeah.
themselves soft skills. So they say developing the or fostering the leadership skills in adolescents can lead to better academic performance and higher self-esteem. Um, can you
Makes sense.
explain why it's important to identify and live? And you were talking a little bit about living our life is already a form of leadership. Why is it important to identify and live by, these core values that I need to develop my self confidence to live life
I
in a
think
suitable way?
because the more we work on ourselves, the more self-awareness we have, ultimately everything comes back to how our relationship is with ourselves. So if we can build that relationship with ourselves, that's going to help us with the relationship with our family, with our work colleagues, with money, with everything. Everything comes back to how is your relationship with yourself. So I think, and that's something that we can control and we can change and we can improve. So I think, and it all starts with self-awareness, doesn't it? So I think investing in ourselves is definitely the most important thing we can ever do, and nobody can take that away from us. And we can, like I said, eventually, we can learn to be happy, we can learn to have peace, we can learn to process our emotions, so we're not acting out on how we're feeling. We're learning to respond rather than react. All of these things, and it all comes back to how we are with ourselves. So, and that's something I believe we're all responsible for, you know. So I think investing in ourselves is the number one. And I know you always post about insightful things like this as well, and I just think this is the most important thing we should do, and nobody can do it for us.
Know thyself. Know thyself. It's
Yourself.
times and times again. And isn't it interesting that, because I work mostly, on the other end of the spectrum with adult women,
Yes.
generally, they spend 10, 15 years in the corporate. And sometimes they come and they say, Dr. Nabila, I think I lost myself. I lost the track of things. I don't know who I am anymore. So there is this position, and I know I can do it, but my company doesn't see me in it. They don't see me a good fit for it. Why is it that they can bring somebody from outside, but they don't a lot of questions revolving around losing oneself. So and isn't it interesting that some still by the late 30s and the early 40s they are still grappling with getting to know themselves?
Oh, totally.
um,
And yeah, I think it's a really important thing that you
and
said.
my question is, are we cutting, Jasmine?
Yes, a little bit. It's okay.
We cut a little bit. So my question for you is the following: like, nobody, like, it's only these years, during this time that we are talking about knowing ourselves, about
Mm.
getting to know who we are, digging deep inside, and so on and so forth. But in our traditional schooling system, at least where I come from, or where the school system I've been through, and even I visited the US, the UK, and taught a bit everywhere, and it's more or less the same. We don't teach kids to know who they are at the very early stages of,
Yeah,
the ages you are dealing with today, right? Would you agree?
definitely. Yeah, you're right. There's nothing on self-awareness, is there? And if you don't know about something, there's no way you can change it or begin to make it better. So I think that's very important. And I think it's another important thing that you just said as well. Whereas, no matter how old you are, we always need to do this work. So better start when you're young to get into the habits. and learn about it, because it's not something where you can just do and then it's the end. It's like going to the gym or eating well. We have to keep doing it. It never ends. This journey of working on ourselves never ever ends, and it's something we need to do forever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I hope we are not cutting. Absolutely. I think was it yeah, I was listening to something podcast or something, and then somebody was actually using the analogy of the gym, and he says you can go the first day and then you look and then there is nothing, and then
Oh,
second day
yeah.
there is nothing, and then the third day there is nothing, and you're not going to see those abs any
Amazing.
sooner, but it's gonna be over years, over probably many 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 years before you can start really seeing this transpire. So isn't it interesting that today a lot are, even after university, after graduation and so on, and they start doing the things that they think they have to be doing or they are meant to be doing, only to realize that it's not that they wanted something different, and that's all because the work hasn't started early enough, right?
Exactly. And I still think it's a relatively new concept, isn't it? We're still, like you said, we're learning about this, and there's so much we don't know. And I think it's just about it's trying something new. It's taking the first step, and like you said, it's unique to all of us. We don't need to copy anybody else or follow anybody else. It's really about learning how to trust ourselves and listen to ourselves, because we're all so different. And that's why I absolutely love coaching, especially teenagers, because I don't in the sessions, I don't tell them what to do and I know best and you should do this. It's all about helping them discover what's best for them. And of course, in that process, they learn how to be self-confident, because they realize they actually do know what's good for them and what's best for them. And even if they don't, they're going to try something and they might make a mistake, but that's okay too. That's part of the whole process, isn't it? So I think it's really about, stepping into the unknown, being uncomfortable, and learning that, what's right for you might not be the same as what's right for your friend or family.
And this is so interesting because everything you are talking about in here
Yeah.
is literally the opposite of what we've
Oh,
learned to do at school,
oh,
which is,
yeah.
oh, you need to do this, and to succeed you have to do this. We've been brought up with checklists, like,
Yeah.
oh, for happiness you can do this, and then graduate and take the education elevator, get some degree,
Yeah.
and then get married and make two kids, a boy and a girl, preferably, and life will be great. But you and I just know that this is not how things happen. So the idea that there is something out there that's going to make us happy, that's going to give us this, that's going to da 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 da. So actually, the self-confidence path and the self-confidence journey that you teach to kids probably is a process of going inside and
Definitely.
getting to know there's nothing outside, right?
Exactly. It's all about going within, and it doesn't have to be deep at the beginning. It's just one tiny step at a time, and making those tiny changes that are going to make your life better. And it's not about quick fixes, changing everything overnight. It's just the tiny steps each day, consistency, that make a difference.
And
Yeah.
it's an inward movement and not an
Yes,
outward movement.
I love that.
It's going
Inward,
inside. Mm.
inward movement. That's brilliant. Yeah, exactly. And it's not, and that's why I think we're all responsible, because it's not about blaming anything on the outside. It's all
Right.
not about blaming ourselves either, but we're responsible for this, and we can change it. slowly.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, Jasmine, my question for you is really the following. Now, let's suppose I'm a mom and I have three kids. I'm extremely busy, but um, what can I do to facilitate this process for my kids? Like getting to know themselves, walking them through a journey of accepting who they are, developing their confidence.
Yeah.
Like the school system is not providing that. Let's
No.
be very frank about this.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
school system still gives information at a time where we know that information is available for free at a click of a
Exactly.
the search
I think
engine.
I think definitely, if you want your children to have a healthy relationship with yourselves, I think first of all you need to model that yourself. So you need to have that healthy relationship with yourself, because children will copy what they see, not what they hear. So I think that's fundamental. So I think parents need to work on themselves as well. I think everybody should be working on themselves all the time. But I think the techniques I teach when I'm teaching parents would be simple ones like active listening, listen to your children, um, active listening, validation. So validate their feelings. Don't tell them that they shouldn't be feeling something or it's wrong. Like, all feelings are valid, all feelings have a message. It's okay, whatever they're feeling. Even if you don't understand, it's okay. And then the powerful questions. So not jumping in, offering them solutions, stepping back, listening, validating them, and asking them open questions so they can figure out the answers themselves, because eventually they will figure it out. If you're listening and asking them thoughtful questions, thought-provoking questions, they will probably figure out the answers themselves. But you just need to be a little bit more patient with them and give them some time. And it's those simple things: active listening, validation, powerful questioning. And it's so simple, but they're not always obvious, because we want to maybe rush in and fix and solve and all of this, but it doesn't really help, because we all want to feel listened to, don't we? And we all want to feel like we can solve our own problems. And when you step back and answer the questions, listen to your child, they will figure it out. Try it and see, is all I can say. So those three things. And, of course, there's a few more things, but I think fundamentally it's those three things, and it's simple things.
Active listening, validation of StreamYard is reporting me, is giving me the thumbs up. So I'm doing my homework, and it's so and then so active listening. Just listen to your kids. I'm repeating what Jasmine is saying. So as
be
you
present
can
with them.
be present with your kids, and validate whatever they feel. If they
Yes,
felt it, then it must be true. You can don't go into judging it or quantifying it
exactly.
or
Non-judgment. Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. I love this because I work a lot on paradigms or
Yes.
limiting beliefs, because
Yes.
by doing this, because by the time we are adults, we have a theory about marriage, we have a theory about love, we have a theory about the school system, we have a theory about how kids develop confidence, we have a lot of judgments and
Yes.
preconceived ideas, and they can operate as limiting beliefs, because
Definitely.
if we like put them on kids, they will limit them from exploring their own potential and their own capabilities and their own and set their own dreams. It's like if we keep judging the kids and keep telling them you should be doing this, or it's literally living their life through
Yes.
our own eyes,
Totally.
right?
Yeah. Exactly. So many
Yeah,
people do that. Yeah.
yeah. And the idea is by doing these three things is simply to step back and stop passing on our limiting beliefs, our
Good.
paradigms to the kids.
Yeah.
Like Yeah, would you agree? Yeah.
Exactly. And you can make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. It's okay. It's just, how do you respond when you do make those mistakes?
Absolutely. And you are the best role model. Like the kids, as you said, they
Thanks.
don't learn from what you tell them.
Oh, yeah.
They
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Exactly.
1,000
Exactly.
times, don't do this, don't do this, don't, and then they look at you, and the way you do it, they are going to emulate or imitate that. We all
Yes.
know this. So I can't believe it's already 30 past, Jasmine. We've
I
already
know.
hit the 30.
Oh, and
It's
it's all because
always
we don't
never
want to
enough.
overwhelm. We don't want to overwhelm anybody. So I think simple takeaways is key. It's absolutely key. That would be my biggest message for today. It's about simplicity. It's absolutely key. If we don't stick to the simple things, I think nothing ever changes. I personally believe that.
Yes, yes. So actively listen to your kid. Actively listen to your kid. You know, hold yourself from jumping in and making conclusions and think that you understand, and then finish the sentences and
Yes.
respond back. Don't listen to respond. Just stop and listen. That's why we
Yeah.
have 2 ears.
Yeah.
Listen, listen, actively listen. Active listening is not a big word. It simply means listen to listen, listen to
Yes.
understand, listen
Yes.
to understand. It's not listen to respond. It's not listen
Yes.
to.
Mm, true.
uh, the second one, it's about what did we say? Validating.
Validation. So whatever,
Validation.
especially with the feelings, however your child is feeling, it is
Yeah.
okay. They are not wrong. They are not wrong. Maybe you don't understand how they're feeling or why they're feeling that. That's okay. But it's
But
still okay how they're feeling.
accept it. The
Yeah.
idea is, oh, you shouldn't be crying. Oh, you shouldn't da da da. Oh, there's always this shooting at early age that develops into an inner critic, a voice in our head that's telling
Yes.
us, yeah, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. So if we can just hold on, you
Yes.
know, judging the kids and just let it be and accept their feelings, that can.
Exactly. Exactly. This is huge, because otherwise children start to dislike their uncomfortable feelings, and then they can dislike themselves after that.
Um, this is huge what we have in here, because when you intervene at a young age, you can spare the kids years later on of unlearning certain habits they are not happy with, that's not helping them. Would you agree? Yeah, Jasmine.
100%, 100%. And I wish I knew these tools and techniques when I was younger, but I feel like there's always a reason, why I didn't learn them, and I feel like it's probably so I could help others. Who knows? But it's never too late as well. I think it's never too late. Start now. Whatever your age, however old your child is, just start now. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just do something different.
I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Jasmine, I'm tempted to ask you this additional question, which is, in the work you've been doing and in the on-site visits and on-site work you've been doing with schools and
Yes.
with kids, uh, do you see a correlation between the work that's done on confidence and so on, and then academic performance?
Oh,
Is
definitely.
there?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I would say happy students are successful students, for sure. For sure. Of course, if I mean, and I've worked with students who didn't have any confidence in the classroom, and they couldn't raise their hand in the class. So they were too scared to raise their hand because they thought they might ask a silly question, look stupid, everybody laughs at them. So they didn't. So then they didn't understand the class. So then they had bad grades anyway. So definitely, because if you don't have any confidence, you will probably not ask any questions because you will have this fear and worry that people will laugh at you. And that's just one example. So of course, when you're lacking confidence, you don't take the different actions that will help you. You tend to be more paralyzed and freeze and not do anything, or pretend you understand. So you're always worrying about what other people think. So you're much more self-conscious. So that will stop you from, making decisions that are going to help you in the classroom. So definitely, there's been so many instances. And it's the same, isn't it, with adults? They say, happy employees make productive employees. It's exactly the same. When we feel our best, we do our best. It's just so simple. Simple as that, yeah.
Absolutely. I used to thought my background is not in managing, educational program, but I was interested for 15 years with leading a program. And I said, my theory is very simple. Happy teachers make happy classrooms. And that's it.
Exactly. Simple as that. Simple as that.
Exactly. And then I wanted to circle back and come back before we wrap up this amazing conversation. In its simplicity, I think anybody who's been following would really take those gems, those takeaways that are so actionable, practicable. It doesn't need reading 1,000 books to figure it out, but so simple, straightforward that you can start applying right now during the summer vacation, where you have this quality time with your kids, probably a bit of vacation somewhere, or where probably the kids are at home and you have more time to get in contact with them and everything. So probably, who knows, maybe this is a good time to strengthen that relationship and consolidate that confidence in kids. But I wanted to come back to grades, and you mentioned the grades and how the self-confidence or lack of can impact the grades. And immediately, as parents, myself included, when I was raising my kids, they're grown up now. It's like when somebody has, and I didn't like when the grades are low, everybody rushes to the tutor, to extra drilling, extra work, and actually it's counterintuitive, right? The answer is, I mean, what's a quiz? A quiz is a performance at a particular point 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. That's it. Don't grow my quiz. But if you work on the kids' self-confidence,
totally.
Yeah.
100%. Exactly. It's all to do with, I mean, sometimes you might need to speak to the tutor sometimes, but it's about being open to speaking to both. Yeah. Not just straight away blaming the teacher or something like that. It could sometimes be the teacher, but a lot of the times it's the pupil needs extra guidance or somebody to talk to. And it doesn't have to be for a long time,
Yeah, sometimes it's just
exactly. So it's
just be heard. The moment they start asking questions, they have the answer.
I love that. Exactly that. Yeah,
I love it. So the answer to grades, please have a look at strengthening the connections, consolidating confidence, understanding what's in there before you jump in and fill your kids' time with more hours of drilling, more exercises and more tutors and more. I sometimes,
it's about changing something, isn't it? Sorry, it's like changing something. It's not doing more of the same thing. It's changing something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there we are. Sorry, I think it's,
Yeah.
So I love this incredibly insightful discussion, and the gems of, little nuggets you've given us along the way, Jasmine. I love it every time you are my guest. I know we are in for a treat. So thank you so much for availing this time, Jasmine. I really loved our time in here and
You so
how we can develop. Please, final words, Jasmine. What would you want to say to anyone or anything across the
I
board?
just I think, like I said, thank you so much, Nebila, for having me on. But I think the most important thing I would say is it's about listening. That's the first step. Listen to your child. That's it. And and building that relationship with your child, and that means listening to them, respecting them. That's the first step. And then the next step will come naturally as well. But the first step is always the hardest, isn't it? But once we start getting into that zone of respect and listening, then you're really halfway there, I think.
Absolutely. Well, Jasmine, continue to enjoy your beautiful vacation. I really loved our time in here, and
Me too.
I can't wait. Where do people find you, Jasmine? Your
It's
link? Mhm.
my LinkedIn, Jasmin Navarro, my LinkedIn. Yes.
Your LinkedIn page. Awesome. That's easy. Jasmine Navarro. So if VM is here, we can put your link to your LinkedIn
Thank you so much.
page. Absolutely. Continue to enjoy your vacation, and thank you so much,
Thank you
Jasmine.
so much.
Have
See you
a
soon. See you
see you
soon.
soon. Yes, indeed. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.